Hey everybody, it's your old pal Mike. I hope you're happy, healthy, and safe. You might have already noticed that the Trini Lopez is back on the bench, and that's because it's given me a little bit of trouble. The issue that it has is one that I almost expect with most new guitars these days. It's certainly not out of the ordinary. Every guitar takes a little bit of time to get used to being a guitar, and as such, this issue crops up quite frequently. So I'm going to address it and thought I'd take you along for the ride and give you a little quick tip on how to address this very common issue. Now, the issue I'm having with the Trini is not your usual issue that you might have with tuners. They're holding tune just fine. They're not slipping. They're not creaking or anything. The issue I'm having is that the strings are breaking right on the edges of this hole that they pass through when you string them up initially. And as such, that leads me to believe that the edges of the hole are just a little bit sharp. Now, whenever I need to address this issue on a guitar, I reach for some of my favorite tools in the world, and that is namely Mitchell's abrasive cord. This stuff is like sandpaper on a rope. This stuff is great for sanding in really hard to reach places, namely the string pass-through holes on a hardtail bridge for a guitar that's strung through the body. These also work really great on worn-out bridge saddles, for instance. If you've got a burr that's formed and you're breaking strings down at the bridge, this is what you want. And it also comes in handy for taking care of sharp edges on a tuner. In the interest of safety and cleanliness, I'm going to remove the tuners from the neck, and we're going to work on them separately. One of the nice things about having a guitar like this is that the tuners are on a strip, and there are only 4 mounting screws to deal with, so you don't have to worry so much about keeping them in line and all of that like you would on a Fender. And they should just pop off like so. Now that I've got the tuners off, I'm going to set the guitar aside. Okay, so I've got the tuners off and clamped in this little StewMac vise. It weighs about 5 pounds, so it should stay still enough for me to get this job done. And all I'm going to do is take a length of my abrasive cord, thread it through the hole as I would a string, and just go to town on sanding away these rough edges. I'm going to do a little bit on the outside as well. Take care of any rough edges on the very outside. I think if I just feel with my finger, I think that might have done the trick, but I'm going to go through this first hole again. And it feels a lot more smooth. And once I'm fairly satisfied, I will feel around with my fingers and try to detect any sharp edges that might remain, and then move on to the next tuner. So that second one feels pretty sharp to me. So I'm going to go ahead and do all 6 of these and prevent myself from having to deal with any future string breakage issues, especially while I'm recording. It's really hard doing this on camera. I'm finding the right angle where it looks like I'm doing things. And do I blame Gibson for this? Do I blame Gibson for not taking care of this at the factory? Not really. I think there are many things you can blame Gibson for right now. I don't count this among them. This is the kind of job that a person would only know about if they had the guitar for any length of time, and this is really the kind of thing that a tech can do, but as someone working on an assembly line and trying to push numerous guitars out at once, just doesn't have time to find. Also, this is the kind of thing that you would really only discover after playing the guitar for many hours, as I did. I mean, new strings often don't break immediately, at least they don't for me. But when I do break strings, and it is not often, they do not usually break right at the tuner. So that tells me everything I need to know. Now, one thing I am noticing is that some of these posts are a little bit loose, so I don't know if I want to go to the trouble of prying off the back cover of these cloisons. Are they even cloisons? Are these really cloisons? Yeah, those all feel a lot better. A little bit dustier, too. All right, and they all feel a lot smoother to me just by touch alone. Those edges of the holes are much more rounded over than they were, and that should contribute to string longevity, especially on the plain string. So I'm pretty happy with how this came out. I will reinstall them and string the guitar right back up. All right, welcome back. The job is finished. I've got the guitar all strung up and ready to go, and I'd love to tell you that this completes the job, but at this point, it really is just a waiting game, waiting to see if another string snaps, and if it does, where it snaps. This is the kind of job that you don't know for 100% certain that you fixed it until much later down the road, until you change strings the next time. Then you'll know for sure, I got it. However, I'm confident that these strings are going to last, and the guitar feels great. It's set up great. I have continued to play with the setup ever since I got it and did that video, and I feel like I've got it pretty well dialed in for my playing style, but you know, time will tell. As you can also see, I still haven't gotten around to the Bigsby. We'll see. We'll see. I'm still deciding. But until then, I hope you're well. I hope you're taking care of yourself and each other. And thank you so much for watching this extremely quick little video on how to take care of burrs or sharp edges on your tuning posts.